Hey, welcome back to Great Sports Debates and our series on the greatest football players of recent times. Today's installment will likely be the most popular and possibly the most upsetting. We certainly won't have 10 quarterbacks like the NFL's 100th anniversary team, but we might approach that number when we start adding in the honorable mentions. As a reminder, the criteria we will use will start with dominance, comparing a player to their era. The next factor will be impact. Determining the value a player brings in football can be hard to determine, as the large size of the teams, the number of transactions each year and during the year, and all the different schemes and coaching styles, but we'll do our best to apply that when possible. Next on the list will be production, capturing the actual stats and numbers while recognizing the growing advantages of offense over the years. And finally is winning. While we understand this is the main goal, we also understand football is the ultimate team game. One final mention we want to make sure everyone recognizes: this list is going to look at players going back, probably about 40 years or so. So, guys like, Sammy Baugh or Otto Graham. Some of those guys are just not going to be on this list because I haven't seen them. And all I really know is, the numbers and stats looking back at them. So this time we're going to mix it up and start with rapid fire comments on the honorable mention group, starting with Dan Moreno. Moreno had a lightning quick release and a huge arm. He was a 3-time first team All-Pro, as well as a 3-time second team All-Pro, and has put up numbers way ahead of his time, leading the league in passing, 5 times, passer rating, touchdowns multiple times, etc. Like pretty much every season record, as well as when he retired, all the real important career numbers, he had everything. Joe Montana also sneaks into the honorable mention category. I know his 4 Super Bowls are going to elevate him higher for most people, but he only has 2 first-team All-Pros. He was backed by the most loaded team of my lifetime with, consistent number 1 defenses, the greatest wide receiver ever, good running backs, great offensive lines. He had a coach that ushered in a completely new play style. And if you notice, Steve Young immediately posted better numbers on weaker teams. But that's not to say that Joe Montana is not one of the greatest of all time. I just don't think he's quite on the list. And finally, for honorable mentions, we got Aaron Rodgers, whose 4 MVPs is second all time. He also led the league in passer rating 4 times, TDs twice, completion percentage. He was on the 2010s All-Decade team, and he's always had a great touchdown to interception ratio. I want to say he did or had the record for best ratio in a season as well as a career, but his numbers there are always great. But let's get to the bread and butter, and finally we get to the 2 quarterbacks that actually made the list, starting with Peyton Manning. Peyton is a 2-time Super Bowl champ whose numbers and dominance blow everyone out of the water. He has 10 All-Pro selections, with 7 being the first team, which is honestly more than any quarterback I can think of has total. He's on the 2000s All-Decade team and has led the league in every passing metric multiple times. It would probably take another 10 minutes just to get into all the seasons he led this and all the career records he may have had briefly. The only mark against him is winning, which is kind of funny because he's second in quarterback win totals, is only behind Brady, Montana, and Mahomes, who's a current player and possible future member on this list, in winning percentage over the last 45 years. I don't think I've seen someone play quarterback better than Manning with his 5,000 plus yard seasons and 50 plus touchdown seasons. And when we talk about impact, it's important to mention, when Peyton Manning went down for the Colts, that team went from one of the top teams to clearly the worst team in football. So, some of these other guys you'll see on the list, they go down and their teams might fall back a little bit, but you rarely see a drop off like that. Despite all that, most people still recognize Tom Brady as the quarterback with the top resume. While Brady might not have matched Manning's peak numbers, he definitely showed how elite he was when he was gifted Moss and led arguably the greatest offense ever. Brady was a 3-time MVP, 3-time first-team All-Pro, and 3-time second-team All-Pro. He was a quarterback on the 2000s team as well as Manning and the 2010s team. His work ethic and smart play had him play at an elite level for a long time. Otto Graham and current player Pat Mahomes are the only quarterbacks with a higher winning percentage. His 7 Super Bowl wins is more than any other team. He owns every major career record, including wins by a huge margin. There was no way I could put another quarterback next to these two. I know people will be upset. Guys like Favre, Elway, Breeze, or a number of others missed the cut. But I can't cheapen the criteria just because it's the quarterback position. Either way, I don't think I'll get many questions when it comes to the top 2 guys. As always, let me know what I missed in the comment section, and if you're enjoying this series, I'd appreciate a like, share, and subscribe so I know you guys are appreciating what I'm putting out. Either way, thanks for watching.